Tommy, explain what a Roth conversion is.
Yeah, a Roth conversion is when you take money from your pre-tax or traditional IRA, move it into a Roth IRA, and it is taxed in the year that the conversion happens. So you do pay ordinary income taxes on the amount that's converted. So from a tax planning perspective, you're reviewing tax buckets, where you are, where you may be, and seeing if a Roth conversion may make sense for you compared to where you may be going.
Got it. And so let's just say, for example, you did a Roth conversion in July. How does the IRS look at that? Do they look at your clock? Remember, we're talking about the 5-year rule. Does the clock start July, or what happens there?
So Roth conversions happen within a calendar year, January 1st to December 31st. And if these are the first funds going into your Roth IRA, so you open your Roth IRA to convert, you did it in the middle of the year, the IRS will start your 5-year window back to January 1st of the calendar year the conversion happened.
Right. I mean, and again, the reason why they do this, and again, now there has been a lot of confusion on this 5-year clock on every conversion that you do. That can be true, but it depends, right? It depends.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on your age, when you did it, how long you've had the account. A whole bunch of things have happened, but the reason they have that rule to prevent you from converting to a Roth IRA, taking that money out, you've already paid taxes on it, but taking it out without a penalty.
Right, to avoid penalties.
Yeah, you can avoid your penalty without this rule. So that's why they put a 5-year rule on conversions, especially under 59.5.
Thank you for the segue. Okay, so let's talk about doing Roth conversions that are under 59.5. So here's an example. We have an individual that converted money from their traditional IRA to the Roth of $50,000. Okay, they paid taxes when they did that. Okay, they created a taxable event. They did this at age 40. And let's just say, 2 years down the road, it's grown to 60. And so now they have $10,000 of gain from that Roth IRA. Tommy, walk what happens if they did a full distribution of that entire $60,000.
Yeah, if this individual wants to access that full $60,000 that they have in their Roth IRA, the converted amount that they have, the money that has moved into the Roth, they paid taxes on it, but they are under 59.5, have not satisfied a 5-year rule. So there will be a 10% early withdrawal penalty on the converted amount.
Okay.
Then looking at earnings, still under 59.5, so they will have that same early withdrawal penalty, 10% on the earnings, plus ordinary income tax rates on those earnings.
To summarize again, that $50,000 that they converted, they're not going to pay taxes on that because they already did pay taxes on that. But because they're under 59.5, they're still subject to that 10% penalty. And then to your point, on the $10,000 earnings, there's still going to be a 10% penalty, and they did not satisfy what? The 5-year rule.
5-year rule.
The 5-year rule. So they're still subject to taxes on the gains of this Roth, right?
Yeah, it's definitely something to be aware of if you're looking at doing conversions.
That's right.
And accessing those funds.
That's right. That's right. Okay, now let's use another example. So we just talked about an individual that was under 59.5. Now let's talk about somebody that's over 59.5. So same example, okay? They took $50,000. So again, this individual took $50,000, converted that to a Roth. They pay taxes on that. So same example here, Tommy. So 58 years old, 50,000, and it grew to 60,000. So there's $10,000 of gain there. And then at age 60, they did a full withdrawal. What happens?
Yeah, so the difference in this example being the ages. So they went from under 59.5, 2 years later, we're over 59.5.
Right. Yeah.
So on your converted amount, you have already paid taxes on it, but you are over 59.5. So you are not paying the early withdrawal penalty on the converted amount.
Got it.
The 5-year rule for earnings has still not been satisfied for that account. So there's no 10% penalty on the earnings because they are over 59.5, but earnings can still be taxed as ordinary income.
Because they did not satisfy the 5-year rule, right? I mean, hopefully this is making sense for our viewers. I mean, I think they're starting to see that in terms of how this works, but dude, let's muddy the water a little bit more. So let's just recap here again, just so our viewers can see, Tommy, for when it comes to withdrawing funds in terms of the Roth conversion.
Yeah, when we, earlier in segment A, we mentioned the withdrawal order. You have contributions, conversions, earnings.
Right.
This example, the converted amounts, the IRS will look at the earliest converted amounts, older first, and we mentioned the 5 years or 59 and a half. So under 59 and a half, conversions need to meet the 5-year rule to avoid the early withdrawal penalty.
Yep.
After 59 and a half, penalties, the early withdrawal penalty doesn't apply to converted amounts, but we are still looking at the account level 5-year window.
Now, let's muddy the water a little bit more. I think this is where the confusion gets in, because everybody says, oh, well, yeah, it's a new clock on every conversion. Pump the brakes, it depends. Let's give an example there, and then we'll come back to the clock. Okay, so here we got an individual that's 58 years old, and what they're doing is every year they're doing a $20,000 Roth conversion. Okay, so once again, our viewers know this. When you do a conversion, you pay taxes to get from the traditional IRA to the Roth. And so as you can see, they're 58, 59, they're just doing those, they're doing those conversions. Okay, and so 58 is when they started that clock. And then 5 years later, they'll be 63 years old. So Tommy, if they wanted to do a full withdrawal or do any conversions after age 63, what happens?
So age 63, from 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, that's your 5-year window.
Yep.
Age 63, that amount becomes fully accessible to you because you have satisfied the account level 5-year rule. You're over 59 and a half. Your earnings, converted amounts, contributions still fully accessible to you, no taxes or early withdrawal penalties.
That's right. So this is the big one, folks. I mean, I see this all the time on different articles that people are reading, and they keep saying, yeah, there's a 5-year rule on every conversion you do. It depends. So in this case, the account level rule trumped the 5-year conversion rule. So you can see this here. So they satisfied these rules here. And so when they started doing Roth conversions after this point, they're good to go. There's no new clocks on future Roth conversions.
Right. And so, the takeaway from segment A was start a birthday on your Roth IRA.
Yeah.
So for, when we're looking at these, it's a lot of times it's the kind of retirement planning aspect of it.
Right.
So for individuals who are going to be over 59 and a half, start your 5-year window and then review conversions, contributions, those things down the road. But
Absolutely.
Get that Roth opened if you are thinking about going down the tax planning route.